What's happening, good people? Happy New Year. Happy first Sunday to everybody that went to church today. I hope y'all said a prayer. Say a prayer for me. Happy 2016. So listen, this is a subject matter that's been on my heart, and I decided to address it. But when I decided to address it, I decided to address the issues of it. But then God said to me, he said, son, if you're going to talk about this, then you got to be honest. You got to tell your truth. You got to tell your story. And I'm like, God, the people they may judge me for this. He said, listen, man, tell your truth. So here's the deal. I'm going to start this off by telling my truth, telling my honest story, okay? Title of this is Dating a Married Person. All right? So here's the deal. Nowadays, I find that dating a married person have become very common, where the sanctity of marriage is no longer sacred, so to speak. Rather, it's yeah. So, anyways, but let me get into my story real quick. So I remember a while back, I wanted to date a married woman, and she wanted to date me actually as well, and I was never intimate with her. I was never anything. But what happened was, we started out with a simple, small conversation, and what I failed to realize was that mental stimulation was deeper than anything physical. And I found myself trying to justify me liking this woman who was married, saying, she's my rib. She's married, right? But anyways, here's the deal. Just follow me, And she was ready to leave her husband. And I was ready to take her from her husband and saying, you are everything I ever wanted in a wife. Okay? And she was saying, you are everything I wanted in a husband. And that was the truth. Never been physical. Never did anything. What happened was, the door was open to the mind. Now check this out. The psychosis of it all is, you think that this is actually real, right? But it's all a fantasy, right? Because what happens is, that woman never wanted me. She wanted the spirit of a husband that was inside of me. And I wanted the spirit of a wife that was inside of her. And what happened was, she was not appreciated in her marriage, and I was not appreciated in my relationship. So in that same factor, we tried to justify the situation. But the reality of it is, I never even wanted her. But the door was open to mental stimulation, which bonded me to this individual, because she gave me something that I always wanted. I gave her something that she always wanted from her husband. See, the thing about it is, she loved her husband, but she loved the spirit that I carried. And all she really wanted was the spirit that was inside of me to inject inside of her husband. The thing about it is, I recognize in my issue of wanting a married woman, I was dealing with low self-esteem. I was at a low place in my life, and I thought I was just ugly. And the first woman that says you was an amazing man, yep, you it. I was ready to attach myself to this individual, right? And I was ready to just destroy a happy home. Because now that woman is happily married, moved on with her life. Of course, I ended that a long time ago, but I'm saying, it was the idea of the mental manipulation of the fantasy that I really wanted, but I tried to justify it. And how many people now, so many people out there nowadays, we're saying, this married man loves me. What? And what? Wait, huh? Think about that now. That is, you have to check your spirit and say, am I dealing with low self-esteem? Because I'm going to tell you, for those of you that are married, please understand this, right? When you're married, you took an oath, you took a vow, okay, till death do you part. The problem with marriages nowadays is this. People marry people get married, right, for the wedding. But you don't find nobody getting married for the marriage. There is a difference between the wedding date and then the actual marriage. And I want to commission all the people who are married today, that if you're going through a hard time, because sometimes they say, I'm not in love no more, I lost the love. Baby, you got to fight for your marriage. Husband, woman, wife, fight for your marriage. Because in marriages, you go through phases. You go through situations to where you don't feel it. But see, you know what the thing about it is? Your marriage should never be based on how you feel. Okay, married person? Your marriage should never be based on how you feel. It's deeper than a feeling, man. It's what you know on the inside. Because that's why it's important that if you are married, to establish a friendship. Because when you feel like the love has gone, the friendship will sustain it. Always understand you gotta fight for it. Don't base it off how you feel, because if you base it off how you feel, you won't be married long. That's why the divorce rate is sky high. And for those of us who's like myself who are single, leave these married people alone. I had to tell myself that. I told that woman, I said, you belong to another man. You are not my wife. And I had to rebuke that spirit in myself first. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the reality of it is we now try to justify it, and we say, well, he not getting the love at home, so I'm gonna give it to him. No, baby, no. Leave that man alone. His love will be restored. You are only a distraction in delaying the process of healing that family. Sir, keep your thing in your pants and put it towards your wife. Just hear me, okay? And woman, keep your legs closed. Because you have to understand that we cannot look and think for one moment that the grass is greener on the other side with that person that we want to fornicate with or commit adultery with. You know why? Because everybody got issues. And I always say I say love is simply saying I decided to put up with your ish. That's it. Because everybody we deal with have a problem, have an issue. Everybody, nobody is absent without, even the person you fantasizing for. He or she got an issue, and if you leave your wife, if you leave your husband, if you leave your wife and leave your husband, then that person, you're going to wind up saying, God dang it, what the hell did I do? Seriously, excuse my, but listen, seriously. Because now you discover the fantasy is over, the whole honeymoon phase is over, and now you left a beautiful marriage, you divorced your wife, you divorced your husband off of a simple, lustful desire that you could have honestly restored back in your marriage. You could have restored that love, that passion, that desire back into your marriage if you fought for it. Don't give up on your marriage, people. You cannot date a married person, people. Understand, how did that even sound? I'm dating a married person. Deal with the mind. Deal with that low self-esteem. Deal with that lie that's trying to distract you and tell you that this thing is real. It's not real. 2016, baby, my tour is coming, Matters of the Heart. We're going to deal with the issues because I'm going to tell you, a lot of people that date married people got something going on up in here, and I want to deal with that. God bless you. The Sharif De La Cruz Matters of the Heart tour coming for you. You cannot date a married person. God bless.